So I finally made it to the start of the trail after a very long bus ride this morning. Basically, that there is a little map of the whole island. So the airport is roughly around here somewhere where I flew in yesterday, and then I got a bus up and stayed here last night, and then this morning I've just got a bus all the way around the top of the island around here to this Agaete. No idea on how to pronounce that, but that's where I am at the moment, just the outskirts of that. And you can see Estar aquí. I know what that means, you are here. So we're taking this one, and I believe it's this one coming all the way down here. I might be wrong, but I know there's a lot of climbing to start with. So yeah, you can see just how high up we're going to be going. The weather's really nice. It was boiling hot on the bus. The bus was absolutely packed. It was supposed to take about an hour and 20 minutes, and it's taken more like 2 hours and 20 minutes. Mainly because of so much traffic on the road, and kind of like as soon as one car's parked in slightly the wrong place in these twisty little streets, I don't know how they get these buses past them. But twisting and turning and doing like loops to go for one bus stop and then coming back on yourself, it's really odd. So, as I said before, the GR131 isn't actually waymarked as the GR131. And you can see all these different signs here. S90, SL1, S90. I think I need the S90. I'm pretty sure. I'll just double check on the map, but the app I've got, the Komoot app, so far has done really well. I just used it to get from the bus stop to the start of the trail. It's got a nice little directional sensor on it. But this looks great. I'm so glad to be off that bus. I've got 3.5 litres of water with me. I don't have my water filter. I didn't bring it this time because last time I brought it to the Canary Islands it was useless. I didn't come across any water on trail, so I didn't think it was needed this time. Nice place. Okay, so been going maybe an hour or so, and you can see down there the cluster of white buildings was where I started. I've kind of come up the other side of that large ridge there, and then you come all the way along on top of that ridge, and then you can start climbing up around this corner here. You can see it's misted over or clouded over, which I'm very thankful for, because down at the bottom there when I started the climb it was just scorching. I wouldn't like to be doing it in kind of glaring sunlight. And I'll tell you now, if you're not the kind of person, or if you're the kind of person that doesn't like walking with steep drop-offs on one or both sides of you, then this isn't the trail for you. Just come across a little section back there where there was about probably a 400 or 500 foot drop just to your left, straight down. So looks like we're heading back up again. It is all climbing for the first section out of the city, the town. I knew that. You can the app Komoot has a elevation guide on it, and you can see very clearly that it's just bang straight up. I've passed 3 people on the trail so far. I think they were all German. There's one guy, I don't know if you can make him out on the trail in front of us there. But it's not really steep, it's just constant. And it does take it out of you. It's not as rocky as the trails I was doing so far in La Gomera, where you were constantly having to watch your step on the loose rocks. This is a lot more manageable. And the litres I'm wearing are gripping really well on this loose stuff, so I'm very pleased with that. There's no pain whatsoever so far, so very pleased with the footwear. I've passed quite a few places as well so far where you could have put a tent. I don't think it's exactly legal, but I think as long as you're there for one night and you're sort of up and early and out in the morning, you should be okay. Yeah, and you can make out where the trail's going from here, just along the side of this hillside. I guess after that it'll probably corkscrew up again. Oh, anyway, it's getting towards lunchtime, so it's a hell of a view. I'm going to find somewhere to have what I think, or what I'm hoping, is a tin of tuna. If not, I'm probably going to be sorely disappointed. Good afternoon. Well, I've come about, I think it's about 8 kilometres from the start point, and so far it's pretty much all just been up. Just a little ways back, maybe 100 metres or so back, the scenery just changed in an instant from kind of rocky, barren hillside to this beautiful little pine possibly, forest, mixed forest. Sort of shower as well for about 10 or 15 minutes, nothing too bad. It was quite nice, to be honest, it was quite refreshing. A couple of big rumbles of thunder, and I think I saw a couple of flashes of lightning as well. So yeah, it's taken me about, I'd say about 2.5 hours to get to this point, and as you can see, if you're thinking about kind of camping, starting late on in the day, starting at lunchtime camping after a few hours, I haven't really stopped. I stopped for about 15 minutes, and that's been about it. But as you can see, there's plenty of places here you can put a tent. It's a beautiful little area. There's a lot of people on the trail as well, just day hikers, I guess, from the town where I started. I think there's maybe a lake or something around here somewhere, not too far away. But it's been really nice so far. There's been a really nice breeze as well, and the mist is actually starting to clear a bit. It's for the last kind of hour or so, it's just you've not been able to see where the trail's been going, apart from maybe 10 or 15 feet in front of you, because it's all been just enshrouded in mist, which has been probably a bit of a blessing, because if I'd have looked up and seen where it was going, I'd have probably gotten quite disheartened, because it's really been a climb. I got to a little point where there was, I'm guessing it was maybe a buried water tank, quite a large one. There was like a large circle of stones and a viewpoint, a couple of people sat chatting away. After that, it does kind of go from being a constant gradient. It gets quite steep and it gets quite rocky. That's where it starts taking it out here. I stopped part way up there for some lunch, if you can call it lunch. It was 2 small tins of tuna and 2 kind of brioche things. Yes, I am fancy. But there's loads of little trails going off, darting around in the forest here. I guess it's maybe old logging ones. I don't know. But the weather's cleared up again, definitely. It's looking really nice again now. Fingers crossed when I get somewhere clear again, I'll be able to see a decent view. Some beautiful views back where I came from, but they were all shrouded. Occasionally you'd see a little peekaboo of something sticking through, but no, it was mostly misted. So I think it's about 1:30ish now. I started at about 11:15. Like I said, it gets really dark about 6:30ish. So I do have my head torch with me, but I'd like to be kind of set up camp by that time. It's a long old night as well, from 6:30, and it didn't start really getting light this morning until about 7:30. I noticed maybe 7ish it started to get decent. So you've got a long old night to contend with there in the tent, which hopefully means a decent amount of sleep. Excuse me. But yeah, you can see there's loads of flat spots in here. Just take a few steps off the trail, you could get a tent in there nice and easy. So, and I think this kind of treed area, forested area, carries on for a while yet as well, so plenty of choice. Well, I've descended a little bit for the first time today, and it's been quite nice. Just past a little alternate that you could add on to the route if you wanted to, that takes in 2 peaks. I think it adds about 2 kilometres onto the route. It would have been nice to do it, but I have to admit I'm a little worried about water. I've been using a lot more than I realised, but I think I'm about 7 kilometres or so from the next town, which is Artenara, I believe. Whether I pass through that tonight or whether I camp just before it, I'm not too certain what I'll be doing yet, but I've just had to stop here and look at this view. It's the first time, it's been teasing me basically. It's the first time I've had sort of like a bit of a clear view, but it's absolutely stunning. Especially with that mist or the cloud just kind of sweeping through all the time. You can see all the little buildings on the hillside in the distance. If I could find somewhere like that to camp tonight, that'd be well nice. But the sun's, as you can see, the sun's back out again. Got some nice pictures. The trail's been really nice just this last half mile or so. Just on like a flat with a cushion of pine needles underneath your feet. It's dry as anything. If there was a spark, it'd go up like a tinderbox, but there's not been a drop of water on the trail, so I think bringing a water filter would have been a waste of effort, to be honest. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. I think I've done about maybe 10 kilometres, something like that. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I'm going to stop again in a little while and just check the map and try and decide what to do about camping tonight. It's the first clear view, clear good view. It's stunning. I was wondering if you won't be able to make it out on here, it's too far away, but there's a really odd shaped rock right on the horizon and it looked like an observatory, but I think it is just a really odd shaped rock, but it's absolutely huge. But anyway, probably about 3 or 4 kilometres away from town. It's been really easy going the last couple of kilometres, so should be there in time to get some water and then move on for tonight. Good afternoon. So I'm on the outskirts of Artenara, if that's how you say it. Just come past the hospital medical centre, I don't know, there's like a lot of buildings, loads of emergency vehicles, air ambulance just over that ridge. The view here is just stunning. You can just see how rugged it is. I mean, some serious hills. Just come up a really big climb actually. It was going really well. It's like it was on the flat, it was a really nice easy hike, and then threw you up this massive uphill. Just come down a little bit. The bad news is, I don't know what's happened, but I feel really sick. Certainly any thought of food just makes me want to be sick. Even kind of drinking water isn't doing a great deal of good. So I'm going to see if I can get a can of Coke or something, a couple of cans of Coke in town somewhere. See if that perks me up a bit. If it doesn't, I'm not too sure what to do, but I'm thinking it might be something to do with the heat. I don't know, possibly not used to it. No, yeah, I just got no energy and just feel really sick. So that's a bit disappointing, but like I say, we'll get to town, get a can of Coke, and hopefully, fingers crossed, might pep me up a bit. So there's not a great deal in this town apart from an old church, some cool views, a lot of stray cats that are really loud as well, really loud cats. Feeling a bit better, had a drink, got stocked up with water, so I'm going to carry on and see if I can find myself somewhere to put the tent. It's getting a little bit chilly now actually, wind's picked up a little bit. Excuse me. As you can see, don't even know if I'm going the right way actually. I don't think I am, but God, that is just fantastic. Even with all the cloud there, it's a pretty amazing view. That big rock I was saying about earlier that I thought was an observatory, it is a piece of rock just hidden behind the cloud up there, but you can see it, and it obviously is like a huge finger of rock stood up. So anyway, I'm going to check the map and see where I should be going. Well, good evening. So there we have the last light of the day, the dying light. It was really strange. About half an hour ago I was just setting the tent up in the trees just to my right, and there was like, it was almost like the sky was on fire. It just, the entire thing just glowed bright orange, and it only lasted for about 15 seconds. By the time I'd grabbed the camera and run to the edge, it was all over. But what a weird light it was. It was everywhere as well. But yeah, I've had to put the tent up. It was like this cloud and mist was coming in again, as you can see. I'm still at quite high elevation. I think I'm off trail. I need to check the map. I know I took a wrong turn earlier on. I was following some signs for the S90, which is going to the next village that I know I'm going to, so I thought I was going the right way. Obviously it's slightly different to the planned out map on Komoot on the app that I've been using. At least the same place. I just need to figure out where I am. I am feeling quite a bit better. I'm still not feeling hungry, but I am on my second bottle of Coke. That for some reason that seems to be helping. So as you can see, it's very dark in the forest here. Oh. I am camped right next to the trail. It's been quite difficult trying to find somewhere flat enough, and when I came around the corner here, you might just be able to make the tent out there. When I came around the corner here, there was a pitch that somebody had cleared off. Almost looked like they'd taken a broom to it. It was that clean. So it was too good to pass up. Looks like it might be a nice view in the morning. But that's going to be me done. I'm pretty tired. It's coming quite cold as well, so I'm going to jump inside the tent and probably listen to a bit of music and then go beddy buys. So that's the end of day one.